Am I wrong for humiliating my wife's cousin after she mocked my wife's infertility? My wife and I have been trying to have a child for the past 2 years, but despite our efforts, she hasn't been able to get pregnant. This has deeply depressed her, and she was initially against undergoing medical tests. As a result, the past 2 years have been incredibly difficult for us. Eventually, my wife became so frustrated that she visited a doctor, and we discovered that she cannot conceive naturally. This news shattered her mental health even further. She is angry and frustrated, sometimes taking it out on me by hugging me, hitting my arms, crying, and saying she feels like she's not a woman because she can't give me children. I have done everything I can to comfort her, reassuring her that we don't need children as long as we have each other. My wife was starting to improve, but then her cousin mocked her infertility in front of her family at her aunt's birthday party. My wife began to cry, and her sisters and mother comforted her. In retaliation against her cousin, I made a hurtful comment about her past relationships, suggesting that her future husband might not know if any child she has is his. She screamed that I had no right to judge her past, and I retorted that she had no right to judge my wife and mock her. I called her characterless and cheap, expressing my doubt about her. I left with my wife, feeling a bit satisfied with my actions, but my wife is not feeling well on her.
AITAH for texting his GF from his phone while he was in the shower. Okay, this is probably crazy, but I honestly don't care anymore. I, 18F, had a gut feeling for weeks that my boyfriend, 28M, was cheating. He suddenly started taking his phone everywhere, even just to pee. Started locking it, flipping its screen down, and pulling the whole, "you don't trust me" guilt trip whenever I asked about it. Like, calm down, bro. You're not Leonardo DiCaprio. Relax. So last weekend, we were watching some dumbass Netflix show, and he went to take a shower and left his phone on the couch. I stared at it for a solid minute like, okay, God, this is my sign. I opened it. Yes, he still uses his dog's name as the passcode, LMFAO, and boom, top of the screen. Can't wait to see you again throwing kisses from a contact named Alicia, yoga. This man doesn't even do yoga. He thinks stretching is gay. I opened the chat and immediately felt like I was having a seizure. She's been in our apartment. She said, "Wish I was waking up next to you again." And he replied, "Soon, babe." AITAH for texting his GF from his phone while he was in the shower? Okay, this is probably crazy, but IDC at this point. I, 18F, had a gut feeling for weeks that my BF, 28M, was cheating. Like he started taking his phone everywhere, even into the bathroom just to pee. Started locking it, screen facing down, acting all, "you don't trust me?" when I asked him about it. Bro PLSer, not Leonardo DiCaprio, relax. So last weekend, we were watching some dumbass show on Netflix, and he went to shower. Left his phone on the couch. I stared at it for like a full minute, like, okay, God, this is my moment. I opened it. He still uses his dog's name as the passcode, LMFAO. And boom, top of the screen. Can't wait to see you again throwing kisses from a contact named Alicia, yoga. This man doesn't do yoga. He thinks stretching is gay. I opened the chat, and my chest literally started pounding like I was having a seizure. She's been over, like in our apartment. She said, "Wish I was waking up next to you again." And he replied, "Soon, babe." I literally dry heaved into my hoodie. I don't even own a hoodie, but it was his and I felt possessed. So I did what any fragile, unhinged bitch would do. I texted her, "Hi, babe. This is actually his girlfriend. We live together. Just wanted to say hi, kiss mark." And then blocked her from his phone. Didn't even delete the convo. Left it wide open on the screen like Exhibit A. He came out the shower and went dead silent when he saw it. Didn't say a word. Just looked at me like I'd hijacked a plane. Then started saying I invaded his privacy. LMAO. Like, sorry I intercepted Lil Dick rendezvous? Okay. Anyway, he's now crashing at his friend's place and keeps texting me, "We need to talk." But I DK. Am I actually the asshole for snooping or nah? BC, I do feel kinda nuts. But also, yoga?
My girlfriend told me she settled for me because I'm too ugly to cheat on her. My girlfriend and I were talking last weekend and she revealed to me that she's glad she found me. She said a guy like me wouldn't cheat on her. She said because I'm not conventionally attracted. I'm an overweight fella and I like anime. I'm not 6 feet, I'm 5'6". Girls never look at me. She says she's never felt so secure in a relationship until she met me, so she lowered her standards. I guess I'm glad to have a girlfriend that loves me, but it kinda hurts that she thinks I can't get anyone else because she thinks I'm a loser. She said the only thing that I have to worry about is when my career takes off because women love money.
My wife cheated on me 5 years ago in the first year of our marriage, before or after she got pregnant with our first son. I found out on Friday, so I know my son is mine. Kid's a little mini-me in all ways, so no DNA test required. But the betrayal hurts. Even if it was 5 years ago. We've built a family in that time. We've had immeasurable ups and downs since then. Just a few months ago I told her there was no battle we couldn't get through together. But this It feels like everything is crumbling. I feel cold to her. If I decide to leave, we become another broken family in a world where love is scarce. If I stay, I don't know if I could ever truly forgive her. I don't know if I could still see my loving wife. I'm truly torn. If she did it twice, she could do it again, right? And then where does that leave me, TLDR? Family stays together, but I spiral into God knows what. Family breaks apart. Entire family spirals. Guess my pain is worthless comparing the two. So, should that be my answer?
Dear old Dad. So my father paid cash for everything. The only credit card he had for years was Sears. Then when the Discover card came out, it was associated with Sears back then. Not sure about now. He applied for it because they paid you back 1 to 2% at the end of the year. I was over one day, maybe doing laundry, and when I was leaving, my dad asked if I was going by a mailbox. I told him not really, but I can if you want something mailed. He gives me 2 envelopes with credit card applications in them, and they're super bulky. I said something like, "Finally getting a couple of credit cards, Dad?" He told me no. He waited till he got 2 applications, filled them out, put them in the wrong envelope, stuffed them with newspaper so the company would have to pay the extra postage, and mailed them. That'll teach them to bother me. Probably the funniest thing he ever did.
My boyfriend wanted to go on a break and got a girl pregnant. Advice? I am a 19-year-old female that was in a relationship with 18-year-old male. We were dating for 8 months when he asked for a break. I was super confused because I thought things were fine. I found out later he cheated on me with an old coworker I'll call Emily. We went no contact for 2 months or so when suddenly the other day he came back telling me how much he misses me and how regretful he is. Now I found out that he got someone else pregnant, not Emily, but another old coworker while we were not together. I'm not sure what to do here because I do still have love for him, and he seems extremely remorseful and is telling me how much he regrets it all. Any advice would be appreciated.
My mom told me I owe her my firstborn because I had a C-section. I had my son a year ago. Emergency C-section after 26 hours of labor. It was traumatic. I still cry about it. My mother, a natural birth warrior, barely hid her disappointment. She told me I took the easy way out and missed the sacred bond. Then last week she hit me with this gem. "You didn't really give birth. That means you technically owe me a grandchild I can actually bond with." I was stunned. I asked what the hell she meant. She smiled and said she was half joking and then immediately asked when we'd start trying for another one, the real way this time. I have no words. I gave birth. I gave my body. I gave my strength. I gave every ounce of myself to bring my son into this world. And this woman, who held my hand when I was 5 and scared of thunderstorms, now treats me like a failed project. I don't care if I had him via C-section, magic, or beamed him down from space. I'm his mother, and she doesn't deserve a second chance to diminish that.
My girlfriend told me I'm not tall enough to be this demanding. My friend ran into her at some restaurant, saw her dining with some guy, and they even kissed later. I confronted her and she admitted to cheating, but was expecting me to forgive her. I refused to, and told her that we're breaking up. To that she got insanely angry and told me that I'll die alone and no woman will ever want me. Eventually said that I'm not tall enough to be this demanding. I was mocked for my height my entire life. I'm 5'4", I was bullied for it at school, made fun of by coworkers, even strangers on the street. I thought she didn't care about it and was one of the few people who wouldn't use that against me, but I was wrong. I'm devastated. She literally cheated on me and claimed that I don't even have the right to break up with her for it because I'm short. Maybe I don't. Maybe I should just settle with what I have cause no one will ever like me. She's the only woman who was ever into me.
My cat controls my bedtime and I don't even fight it anymore. Every night around 10:30, my cat starts yelling at me to go to bed. Not asking, yelling. She stares at me like, "Why are you still upright, human?" Then walks down the hallway, stops, looks back to make sure I'm following. Once I lie down, she curls up at my feet like, "Okay, good, idiot made it." She runs this house, and I'm just the live-in servant, anyone else completely under their pet's rule.
Am I overreacting to my girlfriend making a copy of my key to my apartment? So I have been dating this girl for, I'd say, a little less than a month. And tonight she called me and asked if she can park in my parking spot for the night since my dad works overnight and his spot would be empty. She used the parking to go to a restaurant with her friend. I live walking distance from downtown LA. I said, sure, I came home, and all her makeup is thrown in my bathroom. And I was so confused because she didn't leave anything here from the night before, so I called her, and she said she was using my bathroom to get ready. So I checked my Ring camera, and I see her opening my apartment with a key that she apparently made a copy of when she used my car like 2 weeks ago. Tell me that's not a sign of a crazy person? I thought dating someone older meant dating someone mature and intelligent. But I'm getting signs of a crazy person. Tell me I'm not tripping. The only reason I haven't gone too much into detail with her is because it is midnight, and we both have work in the morning.
I left my brother tied to the side of a cliff. I got married very young, and I always worried that my 5 little brothers and sisters felt like I abandoned them. I tried to hang out with them as often as possible, but with a kid, wife, and job, it wasn't as often as I would have liked. One day I scheduled a rock climbing trip with my brother. While we were driving there, he made sure to make a show of the fantastic lunch that my mom had packed him, noting how unfortunate it was that she hadn't packed enough for both of us. I knew he and my mom were trying to get a dig in on me, but I let it slide until later that day. While I was belaying him down a climb, I waited until he was about halfway down and then tied the rope up. I went back to the car, got his lunch and sodas, and proceeded to eat all of it while he was stuck there. In a way, I feel that he has me to thank for his career since shortly after this he became a cop, presumably so that he could shoot me if I ever did anything like this to him again.
My 30F husband, 30M, has been making sperm donations behind my back after finding out I was infertile and he now has a son. My husband and I have been married for 3 years. After trying for over a year, we found out I am infertile. I don't want to go into my condition, but we were advised there is a very low chance of me getting pregnant. And even if I did, there is a high chance of a baby having serious issues. Consequently, we decided to not have children, and neither us really want to adopt. He was extremely supportive when I found out and reassured me this would not affect our relationship. It seemed we were both on the same page regarding kids. However, after using his laptop with his permission, I stumbled on an email from a sperm bank confirming he was a patient. After going down the rabbit hole, I discovered he has been making sperm donations for years. I then confronted him, and he told me he has 2-year-old biological son and wants to see him. I was shocked and felt awful as he never told me. He told me he wasn't truthful about him not wanting kids and made donations to assure he would have a child. My friend said I owe her half my inheritance because her family didn't have that. So my great-aunt passed away and left me a decent inheritance. Nothing wild, but enough to pay off my student loans and set aside a little savings. I told my friend, we'll call her Rachel, over lunch. She got quiet. Then she said, "Wow, must be nice. I bet you'll help out your friends who weren't so lucky growing up." I laughed and said something like, "I mean, I'll probably treat my friends to dinner more often." She stared at me and said, dead serious, "No, like, actually help. We've known each other forever. I think it'd be fair if you split it." I thought she was joking. She was not. She then brought up all the times she covered my coffee in college and said, "This is just the universe evening the score." Needless to say, I didn't share a dime. She blocked me on Instagram and told our mutual friends I ghosted her after I got rich. Sorry, Rachel. The only thing I'm splitting is the check with people who actually support me.